Action Comics 973. Dan Jurgens writing, Steven Segovia and Patrick Zurcher on art. We put Superwoman up ahead of this because the events of Superwoman drop into this one.
Yes.
Because Superman was like, oh wait, someone's entered my fortress, and he goes and sees who it is, and it's Steel with Lana, Superwoman, and he's like, she's dying, help Superman, stuff's happening.
You know, a little editor's note would not have gone amiss at the start of this. Going, hey, maybe read Superwoman first.
Yeah, that'll work. I think maybe the reason why they didn't know is because it just kind of works on its own as well. Like, you don't really need to know why she's dying.
Well, I save action for last usually, anyways. So I was covered, but for people like,
I typically read my bigger ones. I typically do like my detective and actions near the start.
Yeah, I mentioned it on the thread in the group for anyone who was reading both to read Superwoman first. But so yeah, he goes there, and some of the other little bits of the mystery they point out here is that Superwoman shouldn't have known where this fortress was. Because this isn't the one in the Arctic. This is the one.
Yeah, this is
brainiacking. So she shouldn't have known where this was, but she seemed to know after a little spell where she's like, "Oh, Clark, it makes sense now. Whatever's happened to her there, it seems to she's had this knowledge now."
So this is almost a sequel issue to the Lois and Clark mini, more than anything else has been in action. Did you read that, Connor? Because I know Pete did.
Yeah, definitely did.
Okay.
I was going to miss out on that.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying it's where Jurgens had his jumping off point for everything that's happened since, and the whole Himalayas fortress was pretty key in that run. So I don't think we've seen it since, right? Like,
I think they brought
it a times.
Yeah, they brought it up once or twice because they definitely mentioned that he has. At least it's been mentioned when he's went to the other fortress. He's mentioned that he's also got the one that he built in the Himalayas.
Yeah, he talks about. I'm sure there was the bit where he went to the other one and he felt like it was weird because he was trespassing on someone else's fortress instead of his own.
So I don't know if we've actually seen it, but it's definitely been mentioned a few times in the run.
So, but yeah, and where'd that go from there? So they rush her out.
I thought Matt was going to keep talking, so I left it open for him, and then he just kind of stumbled through it.
They rush her because with the stuff that Superman has,
but
basically, they can't do it because Helix can't identify what's wrong with her.
Yeah, Steele says, "Is there something or somewhere we can go?" And he says yes. He didn't say where. I'm assuming he means the other fortress, but I'm not sure. It could mean somewhere else. And they fly off, and
maybe Dr. Veritas. I mean, they're pretty close.
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
The other fortress would feel a bit easy because I feel like would Steele not know about the other fortress anyway?
Well, I don't think Steele was that close with New 52.
Alright, maybe not.
Never really saw them interact.
But so yeah, they fly off, and because Cyborg Steel flies slower than Superman does, we see that someone's tracking them because he's slower. They can track him on the radar. Like, oh, he came from there, and we find out it's actually Hank Henshaw is trying to find out where Superman is.
Yeah, who in the Lois and Clark mini Clark had saved from becoming Cyborg Superman.
Yeah.
Inadvertently completely changing things, and is now, it looks like since then he's been trying to locate, because they were tracking the Himalayas. Like, there was people watching that area. And that's where he came from, because he kept them there.
For whatever, we don't know if he's just obsessed with them, or if he actually sees them as a threat, or if he...
Well, he's certainly not. It looks like he's part of an organization, some sort of maybe military-esque organization.
Well, he already was, right?
Yeah, but I'm thinking since the events of that mini where he saved them, it's like he's made it a priority, like, for the organization. Like, maybe he's obsessed with finding them for some reason, possibly for bad reasons. Probably more likely to be bad reasons, but I could see them twisting it maybe to subvert our expectations, because Hank Henshaw was traditionally a villain that maybe they'll say, oh no, because of that saving moment, because of him saving his life, it maybe flipped him, but maybe not.
But then there's the question is, if he isn't a villain, why is he so desperate to find this fortress?
Yeah, that's why I'm not sure.
He had that whole thing, remember, with the gem?
You're right.
And he had a connection to it, and that was what Blank, who we see at the beginning of the issue, that was dealing with. So it could be all about that too, and he could just be trying to get that gem back.
Yeah,
could be.
So that's the Superman side of plot. That's actually the B plot. The A plot is with Lois and Fake Clark.
So this is always the go-to book that I say that I want, is a Daily Planet book. because this was Lois and Clark, not as Clark as Superman, but them doing new stuff.
Yeah. She goes undercover. She's got a blonde wig on and a little sort of sting type operation, which Maggie Sawyer's not happy about because you damn reporters get in the way and cause chaos. But that's just kind of the setup. Although there's a great moment where Clark thinks she's in trouble and he comes running in and he fumbles and falls and it's just hilarious.
Reminded me of the Donner movies.
A little bit. He
calls himself a klutz and he falls to the table. And
it feels like one of those where he can't reveal himself, so he accidentally falls and saves everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it just felt great.
So Lois follows him home to his apartment building, and she mentions it's the apartment building that her Clark used to live at before they became a couple.
Yep.
When she goes inside though to talk to the receptionist, he's like, "Well, no, Clark Kent lives here. He's not been here in months. What are you talking about?" And she's like, "She just saw him walk in. He just walked in."
And it's not even that he's changed it. There's no one that came through. Not Clark.
Yeah.
Right.
Which puts a whole other wrench in all this mystery.
Yeah, it does.
Well, where's he going? Why is he just disappearing? But then when she's at work the next day, she goes into her office and he's there with flowers, and she's like, "Oh no." Because obviously a lot of Clark's thoughts in the narration throughout the book were how he cares for Lois and all that, and we're like, "Oh, this is going to get awkward. There's going to be a weird."
Well, and that's how the issue kicks off, is that he's going to go get involved in her sting operation and kind of bumbles it a little bit more.
It does that cool thing at the first page actually, where it's cutting between our Clark and fake Clark, and he's putting these clothes on. He's like, "This is a job for Clark Kent," and then the next panel, "This is a job for Superman." Shirt open. So
it was a really nice first page actually. It might have been my favorite page of the issue.
I can't argue so much, but fake Clark asks her out on a date, and at first she's like, "What? No, this is weird." And then she stops.
I'm married, but she can't say that.
And he gets really pushy about it.
Yeah, and then it's very creepy. By the way, fake Clark is totally creepy.
And she points that out. Is he's like my Clark, but everything about him's a little bit more creepy.
But I think this is the first issue where it's really felt creepy, where it's maybe you could have taken that before, but this one it's no.
Showed up with her Chinese food 2 issues ago.
Well, that could have just that wasn't necessarily creepy. That was, hey, I was in the neighborhood, thought I could get some food.
I don't know. I think we're gonna look back on it and be like,
maybe now. Yeah.
In hindsight, sure, but at the time, I don't think it played as creepy.
Yeah,
but
I thought it was.
But yeah, so at first she's like, "No," but then she's like, "Wait a minute, this is an easy way to interview him." Yeah, we'll go on a date, Clark. How will I tell my Clark about this?
Yeah.
It was really weird how pushy he was. He was like, "I'm a fun guy."
Which, by the way,
says they're a fun guy, never is a fun guy.
It's the same as anyone says, "I'm not the villain." Yes, you are. If you have to say that, you're the villain.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I also like Lombard on his hoverboard and it catches fire.
Oh yeah, it was pretty funny.
All these little moments that just like, oh yeah, this is Daily Planet. This is what it's supposed to be. I missed this.
I tell you this though, my favourite stuff of this book is definitely been whenever it's between the other arcs and it's this we had the Lois going back to the planet before, and then this one. I'm loving these bits more than not that I didn't enjoy Doomsday or Godslayer last arc, but
but again, these feel like throwbacks to pre-Flashpoint and how comics used to feel.
I think we're just all in agreement. We want more Daily Planet, and we want an entire book of that, and it can be a weekly book for all I care.